Welcome to Soul, Light, and Body, where authenticity meets alignment. When life tests you, pause, allow your soul to lead your actions. Here we explore the wisdom of intentional living, embracing resilience, and stepping into your truest self. Today, we'll dive deep into an inspiring conversation, soul nourishing insights, and the transformative power of presence. Life tests us all the time. We meet roadblocks, but they are invitations for self discovery. In moments of uncertainty or hardship, pausing allows clarity to emerge. Trusting your intuition and inner guidance leads to decisions rooted in authenticity and alignment. Some actionable exercises like breath work, mindfulness, or journaling helps you to integrate these principles into your daily life. When faced with a difficult decision, how do you distinguish between external pressures and your soul guidance? How can you distinguish that? And this evening we got such a beautiful guest. We have Ayrton in the house. And looking at Ayrton now, this is a transformational soul you're seeing. This is evolution you are seeing here this evening. Because I remember the first time that Ayrton came into Soul, Light, and Body. That's like about 2 years ago. Looking at Ayrton now, we have seen that evolution. But in order for this evolution to happen, he had to pause. He had to step into his alignment and to understand the soul purpose here. And because he did that, he was able to explore all the possibilities and he was able to see where the soul needs to go. And the beautiful thing is, when we can step back and just allow the soul to take over. And when that soul take over, it's magical, it's epic, and we can feel that alignment happening within our lives. So this evening, Ayrton is going to share his story, and he's going to help someone who is searching for that purpose, someone who is looking to align themselves this evening. Because you know what? When we show up here to touch the soul. We show up here to give that message to go straight to that subconscious mind. So you can tap into your highest self. And when you tap into your highest self, you can able to understand more about yourself because your higher self knows exactly the purpose it is here for. So this evening, just sit back, just relax. This is going to be a very interactive conversation. And a lot of stuff Ayrton is going to unpack this evening and help us as we move along this journey called life. Some of the tips that he have used, the strategies that he have used to help himself during that period of transition. He will share these tools with us and we can incorporate some of the tools in our lives. You take what you want, you leave what you don't want, or you can pass it on to someone else who you know is going through this kind of transition period in their life and they can use it. Don't forget to share us out because when you share us out, you're helping someone else. We are here to be of service. Every time we show up in Soul, Light, and Body or Enrichment of Mind, Body, and Soul or the Reflective Speaker Series or the Holistic Healing Hour, we are here to be of service. And we are here to give you the tools that you need in order to guide you through life. So this evening here, make sure you subscribe, share us out to someone who you know, as I'm going to say again, that could benefit from something like this. Because we all are in that period of searching for something. But what are you looking for? Do you know what you're looking for? That's the question. Do you know what you're looking for? So just sit back, relax, and just enjoy this hour with us. And don't forget, we have 2 books on Amazon. Your Gut and You and Self-Care is Intentional, Also, we have a digital magazine, both hard copy and the digital. And you can subscribe. It's free of cost. You don't have to buy it. We are just giving back to the world through that to help you as an individual. So just check in the notes and you can subscribe and to be a part of Soul Light and Body family and Start Healthy family. But I'm going to toss the mic now to Joan. Joan, take the mic. Ayrton, welcome, 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 welcome.
Welcome. Wow, great opening
Yeah,
as always.
Thank you.
What a beautiful time of year. Beautiful time of year because look where we are at this point in time. Even tonight is going to be the full moon. A lot of
Absolutely.
vibration, a lot of frequency,
A
a
lot of
lot of energy,
energy.
very energetic moment right now. And the thing is that living life, you got to move with energy. You have to have that level of vibration because when you can step into that kind of space and harness that level of energy and move through life and showing up with that level of power, that energy, level of frequency, you feel so great because then that means that you are tapping in to all of you. You're tapping into your inner being. You're reaching deep within yourself. You're leaning into your inner wisdom and allow that to guide you so that you can show up fully and live your best, be your best. How are you doing tonight? How are you coping through life? Because as the topic we're talking to, but that will be in the conversation tonight is when life tests you. How do you deal with that moment? When life tests you, just sit with that for a minute. When life tests you, do you stop and pause and reflect? Do you go inwards in that moment? Do you ask yourself the question, what is this moment teaching me? What is this meaning of this moment? Are you able to ground yourself? Are you able to go within and practice all those modalities that can really keep you calm? How are you moving through when life tests you? Do you move with calmness and wisdom? Or do you move with fear? So, this conversation is so beautifully set for tonight because look where we are in the year. And life, there is always will be challenges. There'll be setbacks. You face rejection, no's, fear. How do you move? What are the words that you're able to remind yourself that I know this moment here is not to stay because I'm learning something in this moment and I'm stepping higher. I'm stepping into my higher self because I'm letting the past go in order for me to evolve and move forward and live my best, my higher self. Are you showing yourself love and compassion? Are you showing yourself grace? Are you reminding yourself who you are? Because you're special. You are unique. You're amazing. And you are enough. Remind yourself that every day. Because, yes, we're talking to you. We're going right into your subconscious, as Will would say. And remind yourself that I am enough. And I'm tapping into me because I know, because your I ams are so important. I am capable. I am capable. I'm capable to handle this moment. I'm surrounded with the right kind of people, and I'm showing myself a level of gratitude in this moment so that I can step forward with grace, with love, with compassion, and I can meet that moment for my next, whatever that next may be for you. Because every time you go through something and you emerge from that space, you emerge with new experience, new insights, new perspectives, and you become stronger because you're built in that moment to reach for your next, whatever that next may be for you. Each one is different. So tonight, sit back, relax. Remember to pick up our books on Amazon and subscribe to our magazine because there are great topics in there, great writers. In our magazine, we feature many of our guests who were on the show and who is upcoming in our upcoming magazines as well. So subscribe so that you can enjoy both digital and hard copy. You're special and we love you and we thank you for taking the time to subscribe to our channel. We thank you for taking the time to listen to us. And we thank you for taking the time to love yourself. My name is Joan Williams, Holistic Health and Wellness Coach, and so much more. But tonight, we want to give such a beautiful welcome to this amazing guest who was on with us before, but now he's totally different. One who has evolved, who has been transformed, because we can see his transformation coming to share to you tonight with great vibration, great energy, great love, soul alignment, and how do we stay grounded in our confidence as we move through life. Arton, it's a true honor for us to share this space with you tonight. Thank you for being here.
Hmm. Jean, Karen, it is a true honor to be here tonight. I absolutely am in awe with the power of what you've been able to create. I remember last time I
Yeah.
was here with you. It was a very powerful experience already. And this already is an extremely, an exponentially more powerful experience. That's an honor for me to witness you and, well, co-create with you, because these soul, light, and body um, is a beacon of light. I really see that. I really see you too, how you move, how you welcomed me, you guys, you everyone listening. The way they were able to welcome me as soon as I showed up, like even in the private room in the backstage, was like, ooh, this place, this energy, this frequency. If we were really able to take every single day, every single meeting like this, world would be instantaneously shifted. And so, yeah, this is my way of saying thank you for having me, and thank you for having this going on and on. And indeed, for over 2 years, the minimum that I can say for sure, because I was here 2 years ago, and I'm here now. So at least for 2 years you've been beaconing light around the world. This is very powerful. And I know who watches um, is inspired and is in a space, in a frequency that is able to receive it. In fact, what I would like to do is, in few seconds, even just inviting whomever is listening, you take a deep breath, even close your eyes if you want, and actually set this powerful intention on top of what you've heard so far, that triggered you, that touched you, that moved you, that raised your frequency or moved your deeper core identity, beliefs, emotions. Set this intention to welcome. May the words that I am about to listen, may the frequency I'm about to interact with, because words are frequencies, thoughts are vibrations. May all of these touch the right part of me, so that, yeah, life may test me, give me what it gives me, and may I be able to see and discern what's for me, what's not, and to use it to expand, because it is for me. May I be able to lean back. and have that beautiful feeling at times of, oh wow, life is making itself, and I'm being able to use what I'm being given. We're always given. We're always given. And may soul lead my actions.
Yes.
So this is, I don't know, this is the little setup that I'm honored to bring. You've already set it up beautifully. Um, should I say something like about something I do? Like you, I'm at your, I'm on the seat here. Ask me anything. I am absolutely open to bring it on full power.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah. And like what you said, full power. Talk to us from the time we have hosted a show with you and share space with you, your journey and what where you are right now in this moment of such your evolution that brought you in such a space right now that you can uplift the consciousness, the vibration, your energy, and everything that you come with right now. The new you.
mhm. Okay, so yeah, if I'm not wrong, we have 7 8 hours for this, right? No, no, kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
okay, no, it's beautiful, beautiful. I, I would like to start with the very simple fact that, yeah, new you. I would like to start from that label. Let's call it label. New you, new me. Um, we are in continuous revolution. We are in continuous transformation. Um, and the only way not to be is to deny it and resist it. I am grateful that I can say that I'm not someone who eventually resists
Hmm.
transformation and resists the waves. I actually like to surf them. And um, let's start from the very mm, factual point of view. I was married. I am finalizing divorce. Um, I was the father. I was the father of a 2.5 3 year old. Now I'm a father of a 5 year old. So that makes that marks a big difference if I have to look at it, because kids are these masters that day after day, month after month, year after year, they bring on what they bring on, and they evolve so fast that you must evolve, or, well, resist to it. But good luck with that, because it's going to be very, very, very much more painful than if you don't. And so these are the two factual points. Then, um, in reality, the new me, it's more. It's it's not even new. It's more me. This is something that I would say it's not even a new me. It's a more me than before, where me is is more essence, more from the origin point, more from that. I used to say a lot this sentence: "Your soul signed you up for something." I used to have that as a refrain in my content. I mean, being an online transformational coach, guide, presence, like, your soul signed you up for something. Your soul signed you up for something. I would go about it just again and again and again in my programs, in my coaching. And yes, more soul is what I'd say I am right now. It is this inevitable transformation that going to the deepest layer of this human experience cause you to shift. Everything else shifts and adjusts. And I would say that I shed. I shed a lot. I shed a lot of ego. I shed a lot of stuff that I was very attached to and that I would have not said that I was attached to. Even just the relationship, it's been very interesting because this marriage that is now ongoing divorce because it just takes the time that it takes, and now it's co-parenting anyways, so it's not an over and done with relationship, but it's an ongoing one that it's just changing and transforming, and it needs you to take emotions and use them in a way. It's not just like, okay, that's it, that person is not in my life anymore. That person still is in my life. I have 1 hour conversation this morning with with the mother of my child, and it was about whether the kid would come with me to Portugal in a month from now or not. And so it's like it's dense stuff because I want to be with my kid. I am a present father. I choose that identity because it comes from me. My heart talks to me and tells me, look, that is a mission that you are going to express and to cultivate. And so more me, again, I go to that more me or more soul, more coming from the origin point. What is that origin point that I'm doing my very best to live in concrete, in actions, in behaviors, in identity, in the words I speak, in the pace I move, in the steps I take. Well, in these 2 years, if I had to summarize it, um, and not to go into that 7 8 hours rant that I joked about earlier, I would need to say that in these 2 years I have shed many of the layers that I thought were the most important of my life, of the identity of the human I used to be, and um, that anyways I shed them. Doesn't mean that they are not important or they lost their importance and they just disappeared. No, they built towards, they allowed me to understand things, share things, hold space in a certain way. And so, yeah, in these 2 years, I have been shedding layers of very deep attachments, um, that because of my adoption, because of my, well, personal history, I was attached to, and I could therefore bring it into service. I have shared personal reasons and I've turned them into service. I'm serving more. I'm serving more. I'm at service. I'm an instrument. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed and I'm a blessing. And I repeat this to everyone because I do believe that is our real core, that origin point, that source that gives birth to core values and inner truth to this human and its own human experience, this soul having a human experience, and those give birth to and branches into beliefs and identity and emotional patterns, and those become the frequency and energetic state that you live, and those become behaviors and actions, and therefore real world results, which is what you kind of see, the difference you see. I've stayed in the, not in the details, of course, of maybe specific stories, but this is what happened in the 2 years. Shedding, repatterning, um, reverse engineering from soul to real world through me. And thank you for allowing me this expression, this sharing, for asking the question. Beautiful question, actually.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say congratulations to you to lean into your inner wisdom, lean into that inner soul. And now you, as you beautifully described it, you're more soul. As you spoke about reverse engineering, repattern, and you shed. So you peel away, you left the old part of that behind because you come to a new level of awakening. And so you have evolved, and as you rightly said it, we are constantly evolving as we continue to living our highest selves. And so where you are, and now you're able to express, and now what you're doing at this point in time is now you're helping others to see that, and that they can live into their deeper truth and move and be grounded in their confidence with a level of clarity that they now can rise up and live their best by leaning in, getting into that soul alignment, go deep so that you can uncover that self discovery, self awareness, self love. It's a process, but you took the time, you understood what it is. And here you are tonight. First show back out. Thank you for doing us the honor to choose Soul Light and Body to be here and to express and to enlighten, give us insights and perspective when we're looking at the importance of pausing, reflection, introspection, because there is where the power is. Because then now you can shine and shine more beautiful and illuminate the world on such a beautiful level. Karen, thank you, Arjun.
You're welcome.
We're not hearing you.
Listening to you,
Okay, good.
it helps an individual to understand that we all go through things. You know, we all process things in a different way because the soul is here for different experiences. And when we can allow the soul to take the wheel, right, and do that driving, we understand this human experience on a very deep level. But many times, what happened to us, we allow the human to be in front and ignoring the soul experience that it came back here for. That is why I like when you said reverse engineering, because the reverse is bringing the soul to the front and allowing the soul to lead the way and allowing the human to be behind and allowing the soul to guide us because the soul know the direction where to go. So that's reverse engineering. And we are here for different reasons. We are here because the soul wants to go to a higher level of consciousness. So in order for us to go to a higher level of consciousness, we have to go through these experiences
Of
These
course.
experiences, it may not be what we want as a human being because it may be difficult for us. But why it's going to be difficult is when we put up resistance. When we put up that resistance, because remember, if we put the soul in front, the soul know exactly what to do. But when we put up that resistance as a human being, that is why we come up with a lot of stuff in front of us. But as Ayrton said, when we do the reverse engineering and allow the soul to take over, because the soul knows the way,
Mhm.
we tend to peel away and to understand the reason why we are here. There is a reason why each and every one of us are here.
Of course.
There is a reason, but many of us are searching for that reason why we are here. Come on, Dalton, talk to us. Talk to us.
The yeah, you called it in. The soul doesn't need to be taught who you are.
Exactly.
The soul just needs to be allowed to take that lead, to stay at the driving and steering wheel.
Exactly.
When I
Yeah.
say the your soul signed up for something, signed you up
Mhm.
for something, it didn't even sign you up for something. That is already the ego taking over
Right.
actually in that sentence, because it's like signed you up for something is validating your ego that's like, oh yeah, okay, I'm good to be here. No, wait, signed itself up for something, and it took on the image and identity of you.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, that reverse type of thing that very often to change in a conscious way and in an intentional way to manifest and um, and manufacture the reality you want and the results, the real world results and life and outcomes that you want. You actually need to look at what you've got and what it is right now. And so you,
Right.
when I say reverse engineer, is like real world results are created by actions and behaviors. Actions and behaviors are created by a frequency you hold, an energetic state that vibrates and radiates based on the core beliefs and the identity and the emotions that you live, and those are based on the core values and inner truths, and that is rooted in that source and origin point. So you really understand, okay, that is not what I want.
Right.
That is not the real world result that that I desire, and it's not to be blamed. It's just like, okay, what actions and behaviors and attitudes have I
Mhm.
took on,
Right.
performed? It's about that, anyways. And so the energetic states and the beliefs and the identity and the core values and inner truths that are rooted into the soul. And once you like do that kind of you go down and deep. At that
Mhm.
point, you're at the soul. You take a deep breath. You might not like the answer, but
Right.
you need to rebuild it up from the bottom or top or whatever, bottom, top, left, or right. You put it where you like, and still is the source and origin point of your soul, of your truer truth. And from there you build up new core values, new inner truths, new beliefs, identity, frequency, energy states you hold and radiate, and therefore you behave, act, and have different attitudes that create, well, the hopefully chosen and desired real world results. So you do reverse engineer, really. You literally just you go that U-turn and you put the
Yeah.
soul into where it's supposed to be, which is at the teaching place. You don't need to teach soul who you are again. You need
True.
to
True. True. True.
allow
True.
it to lead, to show
To
up,
lead.
to be. Um, I'm taking on this. I created four souls because I want people to walk on earth not as human people but as soul people. Um, my idea is the one of a shift. There's this thing of new earth. For me, if I have to give my 1 cent of new earth, is an earth that is not inhabited by a human civilization, but by a soul civilization. It's not a
That's
civilization
beautiful.
of humans.
Love that.
That's beautiful.
Well said.
Beautifully said.
Maybe, maybe. Thank you for welcoming it. Thank you for receiving it. I'm honored to share it in here.
Hmm.
It's turning it into a soul civilization versus human civilization. Human is beautiful. Human is a transition, right? And we're doing it so beautifully. We're doing it so amazingly. I do see the turning point. I do see that critical mass of um, there's that critical mass that needs to be achieved for things to change and be not
Right, right,
reversible.
right,
I think
right.
we're freaking there. I hold that so much in my heart, and and like connecting with you and talking to you guys, talking, l- listening, commenting, and conjuring this magic with us, soul, light, and body. Yes, yes, yes.
It's really
That's
beautiful
beautiful.
when these energies could come into one space, right? And when we come into one space, we can share and you can feel that energy. You can feel that energy entwining into each other, and bringing out what the collective needs to hear,
Right.
and it's a true blessing when we can allow the soul to speak, when we can allow. And I really like when you said trust, because many times we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust ourselves, and because we don't trust ourselves, we don't trust what we have to say, and we don't believe in what we have to say, because many times we are looking at things on a human standpoint, and we're not looking on a soul standpoint. So when you're going to look at a human standpoint, many times you can't understand what the soul needs to say. You cannot understand that language because that's a soul language. And many times people don't understand that. That is why many times you find people are running all over the place. They're not knowing that you have the answer within you. What you're running after is within you. And until we can really understand that language, we understand ourselves. Many are running, and the only way you got to run into you. You got to run it within you to understand you. Nobody don't understand you better than yourself. The soul understand everything, but you don't understand because you're not in connection with the soul. You're disconnected. You're not in alignment with yourself. That is why you got to pause and you got to bring yourself into alignment. Pause when it's necessary. If you got to get off from social media, if you got to put friends on the back burner, you got to go within you to find the answers that you're looking for. Only know you.
Hmm. It's your
You
life.
know you. You know why you came here, because when you pause and you go within, you'll understand why you were here. That's the only way. And don't be afraid to be alone. If you have to do it alone, do not be afraid. The only time you're going to reach out to get help is to get the right kind of help that is going to help you to go within. If you're going to grab yourself a coach to help you to go within you to find the answers that you're looking for, that's the way. But we gotta stop running. We gotta stop running and run into ourselves. We gotta stop running. Arthur, my question to you now is, how do you integrate soul-led decision making into daily responsibilities and commitment? How do you integrate soul-led decision making into daily responsibilities and commitment?
Look, it's that simple and not easy,
Right.
as people as yeah, it's become a thread, a trend to say this, a common thread. Simple, not easy. I would like to say that it can also become easy, anyways. So I would like to start by breaking the trend in itself, and um, it's a powerful inquiry to do on
Mm-hmm.
one's own life, um, turning that more intangible aspect of the inner world into a a real life result, something that you can see
Right.
in your life, something that it's in a way measurable also, and that others, not that it's important that others can see it, the important is that you can live it and feel it, but
Right.
something that others can see, for the sake of, oh wow, something changed. I mean, you
Change.
welcome
Right.
this, like, yeah, something changed, like, oh yeah, something changed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you see it, actually. Because otherwise everything I had done, uh, for the past 2 years, didn't make sense. And you know how do you integrate them? I would like to make this reference to 1 year of the two, like the 1 year in between, that for me was about not coaching, not
Mm-hmm.
guiding, not serving others in the capacity
Mm-hmm.
that I serve others right now, like with my own business, with um, what I feel being my own mission and purpose. I, in 2024, paused my coaching business, basically not even the whole 2024, but let's say February through um, October, mid October. I paused it and I went back to work in a job, very honorable waiter job working as a waiter in a five stars luxury, uh, just because I had previous experience, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go into that because right now I need to take care of myself. Right now I need to
Mm-hmm.
tend to something that I feel stuck. It's not flowing. Okay, so that was a massive pause, a pause that broke down my ego, by the way, my
Mm-hmm.
identity of, I'm a business owner, I'm a CEO, I must just stand in my power and light, and I cannot step back, whatever. And no, I had to pause, in fact, because I was tested, I was breaking up. I had to tend to some stuff within me, and I felt tested by life. So the thing that I did was pausing, s- stopping that
Mm-hmm.
immediately, as I felt it was frictioning, um, to feel the lead of the
Mm-hmm.
soul. I had to stop. I had to stop because otherwise it was not the lead of the soul. It was the striving and the forcing
Mhm.
of the ego driven identity of a human. And here comes that part of maybe it's not that easy, because the when you're in when you're identified and led by it, identified with and led by that part of you, it's not necessarily that immediate to recognize it, to stop, to pause. um, you need to create a recognition mechanism. You need to have in place uh, the so-called support system, that it can be your community, that it can be your circle, uh, that it can be some direct guides and support, like a coach or a therapist that shows you, like, okay, as the ongoing relationship happens, they give you back. It's like, look, things are not rolling anymore, things are not flowing, and you see it. mm, or you really need to be able to develop that practice of, well, journaling, of discernment, of acknowledging truly, without judgment,
Mhm.
which is strong, without judgment, the fact that, okay, things are working now, things are not working now. And look, let me tell you, December 2023, I was running virtual live events, virtual live retreats, like 3 days retreats. I was launching and promoting for 7 8 days international in-person retreats, and big subscriptions and high ticket coach. I mean, that was the jump that I was about to do. So I mean, on the paper, on the outer, on the what the ego likes, everything was like, okay, that is wonderful.
Mhm.
And it was starting to friction massively with the fact that I was about to break up. That was working, and I was putting in the work, but there was something there, right? There was something. And so I needed to take full, total accountability, self accountability for what was going on, and to pause, even though I effing blessing loved the direction business was taking, for example. But that would just have fed my ego,
Mhm.
not my
Mhm. Mhm.
not my soul.
Mhm.
It wouldn't have fed my soul. It would have. I mean, I don't know where it would have gone. It would have broke things apart, because I want to give another little parenthesis here about this thing you said earlier. Um, I think it was you, Karen. This aspect of the purpose, looking for a purpose. We're so lost in looking for it that we don't realize we have it. It's living. It's fully living. It's living in that state and frequency of truth,
Mhm.
that if we let it shine, it guides as a beacon of light. It's inevitable, and it sounds intangible, but it's subtle. And we as a humanity, we're becoming more and more and more able to tap into it,
True. True. True.
therefore becoming more soul than humans. Soul civilization
Yes.
versus
Yes.
or not even versus, from a human civilization. um, you, it is that ability to recognize more and more with the tools you want, with the journaling, with the coaching, with the community, um, that needs to be sort of a conscious community with no judgment attached to the statement of it needs to be a conscious community, because otherwise it just keeps you in your numbing, it just
Right.
keeps you in your vices, it just keeps you in your habits that are the lower frequency state vibration, old patterns, type
Mhm.
of patterns anyway. So that is a very mm, difficult, tricky part, because the support system we created from the state we're at,
Right.
we create the support system we've got from the state we're at. And w- very often we need to be pulled and or pushed into a an environment that is elevating, because it's uncomfortable to the familiar, to where we are or we're at. And so I'm making it long, but I'm trying to touch every point that comes up here.
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
is really, um, and I'm making it long because I want to give the points that allow you to make it easy over time.
Mhm.
It's, this is interesting. Yesterday a thought passed through my mind, and I just saw that thought, and I was like, oh, why this thought? This doesn't seem related to anything of what's going on around me. Interesting. I'll use it at a certain point, and look, here it comes. I said simple, not easy, but the thought that came to mind, and it literally came out of the blue actually, after meditation, was things need to go from simple and not easy to easy and even complex, whatever. I don't care if they're complex, because actually they are. That was the thought. Like, simple, where? I got taxes, I got business, I got a kid, I got to eat. What is this simplest, like one element? No, there's not one element. There's so many elements in life. It's
Mm-hmm.
not simple. It's not simple, not easy. It's not. It's not. It can't be, because you're alive, and alive, being alive means that you have a house, you have a transportation to take, or a car to own, or like, it's not simple. It's actually complex. It must be complex, but then can be complex and easy.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea here is to make it easy. And coming to like landing with this, I would say the the how you turn, how you make sure that the soul leads into action, that the soul decides what action um, to take, so that the results come from soul. It is to make it your habit, to allow it every morning, to allow it every day, to have that guiding, even refrain. I used to have, your soul signed you up for something. Your soul signed up for something here. I used to have that. Now, now it would be. I don't have one fixed one right now, but it would be um, something on the lines, just getting up and just allow me to see. Please, please, God, please. I mean, you can give it a prayer. You can give it what you feel in your own belief system and way of living, but please allow me to see the amazingness of how life happens and allow me to take it on from the deepest truth, even if I do not see it. Because that I, even if I do not see it, is the human waking up to the day. And the human waking up to the day is the human is like, okay, now it's time to play human life day experience today. Uh, but soul was there even before you woke up. Soul is always there. And concretely, I mean, there's so many tools. There's so many different tools, so many different approaches. I have that reverse engineering. I do it like eventually in the journaling that I said earlier. I make sure that like I see the result. Look, I'll say that again so that I truly landed with that. But I'll say that again. That is actually the methodology. It's called inner over outer to create results from soul frequency. That's how I call it. It's the inner over outer method is my signature method. Is real world result. I like it. I don't like it. Okay, I don't like it. Cool. What actions, behaviors, or attitudes created it? Cool. Those actions, behaviors, and attitudes, where did they come from? What type of frequency, energy, state, uh, consciousness am I holding that makes me behave, act, and have that attitude? Then, what do I believe? Who do I believe I am? My identity, um, that make me radiate and have and hold that type of frequency that makes me take those actions that make me create those results that I don't like. And then you see, like, is that reverse engineering ultimate? Then those beliefs, what are those beliefs and that identity based on in terms of my values and inner truths? And then why did my soul decided to take on those values and those truths? And that brings you into the soul. And you need to stay there for a little bit. And it becomes easier and easier. Right now, I literally take a deep breath, hold it until it becomes uncomfortable. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Empty myself more than what I think I have. Took the breath in, hold it at empty until it becomes uncomfortable. And it brings the physical, the somatic system, the nervous system into presence.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like the body can't be tomorrow. The body can't be yesterday. The body is here, physical. It's not the thoughts wavering, present, later, here. There's no. The body is sitting on this chair in front of this laptop with these clothes on. The breath is up, like it's present. So this is why that deep breath go into soul and then reverse engineer it. What is the results that I like? What actions could create it? What energetic state is resonating with that type of actions and behaviors and attitudes? The beliefs and identities, who do I need to be that holds that type of frequency? What the values of that type of event identity, and tap it into soul. At that point, you're reasoning from soul, you're thinking from soul, you're letting soul lead. You're not trying to teach it who to be, you're
Absolutely.
allowing it the space.
Absolutely.
And this is a daily, for me, is a daily practice, is a practicing right now. And it takes practice, and it takes practice. So long, complex, but hope that makes it easier.
You know, as you're sharing, many men, there are a lot of people would not really understand where you're coming from, because they're not in that space as yet.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
they're not there as yet to really understand this type of language that you're speaking, right?
Hmm.
But we cannot force, we cannot force nothing.
Hmm.
We have to, as you rightfully said, we have to allow. things to unfold as it should. Because many times we are trying to force something, you know, we are looking at someone else's evolution and we are telling ourselves that it's supposed to happen for us now, right here and now, right? But we cannot force anything. We have to allow, because each his own. Each of us came back here for different experiences. You may be looking at someone and they're going through their evolution, but that's not your evolution. Your soul came back here to do the own evolution. So when you're comparing yourself to someone else's evolution, that's the wrong approach. That's the total wrong approach. You have to allow yourself to go through. You can't go around. You got to go through that evolution process. Because when you go through that evolution process, that's the only way you're going to understand who you are. That's the only way you're going to understand your purpose here. You know, it brings me back to something that I'm going to share. I remember before we started all of this, before we started soul, light, and body, enrichment of mind, body, and soul, and all these other stuff, you know, because Joan and I, we normally listen. Listening is very, very important, you know. And because we listen, that is how come we started Soul, Light, and Body.
Mm-hmm.
We get into a room with Tommy Thompson and we had a meeting. And we came up with the name Soul, Light, and Body. That is how this whole thing started. But it's because we listen. So because we listen, that is why everything started to move into motion. Everything started to move. We didn't have to do nothing. Everything started to move into motion. So many times we have to listen and listen to understand. And if you don't understand, you can ask the question. And when you ask, you will get the answer. And the answer that you get, you cannot put up resistance because it's leading you into a direction that you need to go. But as I said before, many times we put up a resistance. That is why many times we run into these roadblocks and we're going around like a revolving door and we're not getting out. So we got to learn to step back, listen to what the soul is saying to move forward. Because when you do that, you were able to understand the reasons why you're going through these different challenges and these different experiences, because it's for your growth and it's for your evolution. That is why you're going through all of these. And when you go through these challenges and you go through these experiences, it's to help someone else. Because when you go through, you are able to share your story to help someone else. So we have to always look at all of these components that make up this whole thing. It's not only one, it's a lot of components that make up the whole. Right, John?
Mm-hmm. I love the story you shared.
Yeah, great. Because listening to that whisper and acting in level of obedience.
Yeah.
Because for the moment, it might not make sense to you.
Yes.
You know, when something drop in or you get it downloads or that level of inspiration, you know, and you may wonder, "Well, why am I thinking this, or what is this all about?" But your soul needs it.
Yes.
And as we be speaking about allowing and just letting the resistance move away, and you dropping into that and letting your soul get aligned with that level of inspiration, things move effortlessly.
Yes.
It moves with
Effortlessly.
ease.
That's the word,
It moves with
effortlessly.
ease, effortlessly, because you're not putting any resistance. You're just gliding. You're gliding because you are allowing yourself and your soul to have the experience. And when you can embody that, there is where the power is,
Mhm.
because you're allowing your soul to have that experience, whatever
Yes.
that moment, because it is lifting you higher. It is
Mhm.
moving you on a different trajectory. Because, but I think sometimes what happened to, we want to understand it because it must make sense to us. We are saying it must make sense.
The human.
The human is
uh,
saying and say, okay, this gotta make sense because this don't make sense to
craving.
me. But as Artin, as you spoke about something which is the tangible and intangible. And so when you move on that level, listening, acting with a level of obedience, your soul now is igniting with that. And then when you look back after everything has materialized and you evolve on a level, you look back and then you said, okay, I understand now why. Because as Karen, as you were sharing the experience with, starting off with so light and body and moving through, and it is there is where it was birthed. We could not see where this moment would have been.
No. Mm-mm.
But as you drop in, you move with a level of inspiration, gaining the insight and perspective in that moment, and you decided your soul now embody that, because your soul knows, our soul
Yes.
knows what that
Yeah.
mission is, and what
Yes.
is to come, and where it's going to move to,
Yes.
and
Hmm.
where it's going to reach to, the reach and
Yes.
the expansion.
Yes.
And that is what led to this moment where it
Mm-hmm.
is right now, the
Yes.
evolution and expansion. And that's exactly what you're talking about, Artin, because the expansion, the soul, the alignment, the consciousness, the more.
Hmm.
Yeah, the more. And it's a beautiful thing because I
Yes.
think that because of the resistance, because that hinders anything from happening.
Yes.
The resistance hinders everything from happening to us, because the more you push and you're not letting it in, the more you become frustrated.
Yeah.
You get stuck.
Talk to
But
us, Arthur.
yeah, because
Yeah, I'm I'm ready. I'm ready. But there is, okay, yeah. You called me in. Resistance.
Mhm,
So 2024.
right.
I had to pause. I had to pause. I had to
Mhm,
let like make me so on and so forth until October. Then in, let's say, in June. So I had been spending maybe 7 years, more or less, not drinking, or drinking like once every 6 months,
right.
but a glass, or just very. In 2024, during that job, I was, I mean, anyways, bar manager, and how to say it, chief of floor in this hotel. I drank. I was in a whole environment that was drinking people, and also very very good friends, like, from childhood. So, I started drinking, and I had a bad accident on the 22nd of June. I was sort of also denying and rejecting all the
Mhm,
spiritual practices, all the practices of the self that I had been doing in the previous years,
right,
because
right.
those had led me to breaking up with the mother of my child, and so on and so forth. So for a moment, my head was like, pardon the word, but it's like, fuck that. Look at where I'm at. Like there's
Mhm.
something wrong with this. Like I'm not supposed to be in this place. I was rejecting it, resisting it. Like fuck you. No, 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 no. No good. All I've done, crap. And well, it was needed, apparently. Anyways, I had to hit a bad wall. I hit it. I restarted training. I restarted my practice. And as I restarted the practices, I was given. I was given two in particular, two, because there were many more, but two hints at the same time during one practice as I started going deeper and deeper and deeper again into what was being given before to me, the practices. And so I started expanding on it all, on the knowledge of alchemy, Kabbalah, like all these things, sacred geometry. New things were coming to me, new tools. And I've been told, buy this that I'm wearing right now, buy this tool. This is a frequency emitter from the radiesthetic
Mhm.
discipline. The radiesthesia is being created, for the ones who don't know, by Dr. Ibrahim Kamil. Um, I'm blanking on the name in this very moment. Funny, but and Ibrahim Karim, an Egyptian who studied ancient shapes and sacred geometry through pyramids, and then bring it back into life to adapt it into our modern day living. And so, long story short, he developed these channels, three frequencies and vibrations that long another long story short is is some very transformational type of frequencies and vibrations at the very base and foundation of how our reality works. So is ultraviolet, golden, and negative green being the organizing frequency of atoms and prana and chi, the different range of colors. Like negative green is the one that organizes it. Now I don't want to just like drop into that too much. It's very technical eventually, but I've been told, buy this. I felt it. You know when you have that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Also, going back to the answer to
Yep.
earlier, that you
Mm-hmm.
listen
Yep.
to those whispers, what you,
Yeah.
Jean, was saying, like those whispers. You must listen to those whispers. How many
Yes.
times is like, oh, I
Yeah.
knew it. Yeah,
Mhm.
you knew it. Damn it. You would have better listened to it. And
Mm-hmm.
this is a practice. Every single time that you say, oh, I knew it, one, two, on the wall, I swear, three, four, five. Okay, five times I said I knew it, so that you remember how many times you did not
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
Because at a
Yes.
certain point, next time that you have an intuition, a whisper, because the soul is always whispering until it starts screaming loud.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, you will listen.
Yes.
And when you start listening, oh, damn, things go where they're meant to go,
Yes.
and
Yes.
they feel blessing good. And so I was set by this and buy the ticket to Mexico. Mexico, I got a job and I'm fine here. And like Mexico, these I felt it for sure. So I bought it immediately. It was supposed to come in a week or two. It didn't come for 2 months and a half. Can you guess why? Did I buy the ticket? I didn't. I didn't buy
Mhm.
the ticket. I was saying I'm going to Mexico. I'm leaving. I'm not staying. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. But I was procrastinating. I was not listening to the full message. The message during that practice that came from an intersection of Kabbalah, Kabbalistic knowledge, and sacred geometrical visualization with sound made very short. I can share it in the future. Like I can put it somewhere, like absolutely make reference to it and share it to whomever asks for it. It was to let my heart speak. That was the
Right.
practice. And my heart spoke and spoke nonsense, meaning out of the blue, go to Mexico. It's like, Mexico? Why on earth? And like, why? Um, and that makes no sense. That makes no sense. And by this I felt like, oh, I must have that tool. That tool is like, yes. But Mexico makes no sense. I didn't buy the ticket. This was not arriving. It was supposed to arrive in 2 weeks. After 2 months and a half of procrastination over the ticket, I buy the ticket one morning. It took me 5 hours, liters of sweat, because all the brain resistances to it, like, and the electricity went off, and then the Wi-Fi left me, and then the laptop turned out like, damn, I'm buying it this morning. I bought the ticket,
Right.
got out from the house. I start going to work. I feel this in me. It's like, no, I gotta go back. I I turn myself. I go back home. I check the how do you call it? The box, the mailbox,
Mailbox.
and this was in there. Like, it's like, all right, I'll listen. And from that moment, I I started listening each and every time, and things have just made themselves. They do make themselves against the odds, against the science of things. Like, just soul knows.
Mhm.
Soul knows.
Yeah.
If you comply with the very first purpose you've got,
Hmm.
living, living, living fully accordingly to what it tells you, then you're absolutely surfing on the crest of the
Right.
wave of life from your soul, not your patterns, because your soul knows exactly how to live. Just need to listen to
Right on point.
Yeah.
Right on point, Arton. Right on point. Oh my goodness. You have given us some really good things to think about. And I know the
Thank
audience
you.
is gonna yeah, the audience is gonna sit on what you're saying this evening, because this is coming from a real high realm, you know, and many who will look on the replay will have to sit and process what is being said in this space this evening, you know. But you will get the meaning of it, because this is speaking to your soul.
Uh-huh.
It's speaking to your soul, you know. And the beautiful thing is that many times, because of the human, we want things to happen fast. And when things don't happen, we get very upset. We feel disappointed, you know. But many times we don't understand that everything is divine, you know. And when things don't happen, there is a reason why it didn't happen. But we, in the human experience, we can't understand the reason why this thing didn't happen, you know. And if we can only sit back and accept that, you know what, this is not the time for this to happen, and we need to pull back and understand that type of language, You really touch on some key points here, you know. You talk about effortlessly. Things start to flow when you are in alignment. When you are in alignment, things just show up. It just show up. People just show up in your life, ready to guide you and to steer you into the direction exactly that you need to go. You know, it's like I'm going to go back to when we started Soul Light and Body. We didn't know the direction where Soul Light and Body was going. But every morning, when myself and John, when we finish our meditation, we always ask the divine to show us the way. We are here to be of service and provide all the tools necessary for us to be of service. So we don't go looking for absolutely nothing. Things just show up. We started enrichment of mind, body, and soul. The radio station in the United Kingdom reached out to myself and Joan to start a show. That is how that was being birthed. We didn't reach out to anybody, and these things that is happening in myself and Joan life, we don't reach out to, and people just come to us because we are here to be of service, and we ask for the divine to show us the way. We get out of the way and just ask the divine to show us the way, and everything it just comes. It just comes. And it's when you can listen to understand that type of language, there is where you understand the bliss of living, just living, and understanding that the soul is leading the way and just leading and guiding you. You know, many times relationships, they have to go because as we evolve, there are people, those energies cannot evolve with us. And it's okay for those things to go. It served the period of time it served because the soul wanted to experience that experience. So that is why each experience that we go through with people, we never curse that experience because the soul wanted that experience in order to evolve. So we accept those experiences, we accept those challenges, but the soul know when to leave. The soul know when that experience is up and when we to leave that experience. But many times we want to hold on to that experience. We grip it so tight and we don't want to let it go. But the soul know when to remove the self from that experience. And that is where the allowing comes in. And attachment is another stuff as well. Because many times we get attached to things and the soul wants to leave, but we feel so attached to it that we don't want to leave that experience. We still want to hold on to that experience. But the soul know when to leave. That is why relationships, many times, relationships gotta go, it's gotta fall apart because that experience is finished. The soul is finished with that experience and it needs to move. Because remember, we are energy and we are evolving all the time. So we're gonna come into orbit with someone. We're gonna go through that experience in that orbit, and then eventually that experience is done. The soul wants to move, it wants to go, you know, but many times we're holding
Done.
back that soul from moving. Right, Archan?
Yeah, when it's done, it's done.
It's done, it's done.
When it's done, it's done. It's ah,
It's
I
done.
couldn't stay in Mexico for as much as I loved it. It was done. I had to go, and
It's
when I
done.
was done there, I was done there. I've met like lifetimes of people in there, old lifetime, previous lifetimes of people in there. Like it was a whole like recognition of souls. Like
Mhm.
what the heck?
Yes.
I left and I'm going to Portugal um with this woman that we're in a partnership with. right now we're co-creating, and we just recognize each other. We we really are cultivating this. Before, it was unimaginable depth and level of love that is not just that, um how to describe it, that is not that um, well, ego driven, let me say that this way, ego driven type of
Mhm.
love relationship. We decided not to enter into the relationship with sex and with consuming it from a human level, for example. With this, there's so many different pieces, and that is allowing us, for example, to expand and evolve, and to see each other shadows and flaws, and to continuously transcend them. But that also required listening deeply to that
Right,
truth. I'm
Mm-hmm.
here
right,
for fatherhood, for
right.
example, and fatherhood brought me away from
Mhm,
Mexico, right
mhm,
when at the end of the Mexican experience that I
mhm.
was told to go into. I was told to go into, and I listened. And then when I got there, I did all the thing that I did, and restarted my business, um, and and met so many people, and so on and so forth. And then I met her, and it was like, okay, now it's kind of like I met her, and it's like now I want to stay here, right? No, now you gotta go. And I'm like, "Huh, what's wrong with you?" Like, okay, I'll go. And I left, and I left, and now it's evolving, and it's bringing us towards somewhere else, and it's and I keep on listening, and she keeps on listening, and it's a conversation of two humans listening to this higher, and it's incredible how the whole conversation is, this is gonna be fine. When we know, we know, there's a knowing that precedes the, oh, I knew it. There's no space
Mm-hmm.
for, oh, I knew it, because we're listening, therefore we
Right.
know it. We're tapped into that. And
Mm-hmm.
that is a powerful space
It
that you
is.
tap
Mhm.
into when you're in prayer, as you said. And as beautifully also, I see that in the comments. Uh, you, yeah, like that prayer every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be of value to humanity. Let me
Right.
be in my truth. Let
Truth.
me be able to see the truths that I
Right,
cannot see.
right.
Let me be able
Mhm.
to listen, because at times we're sort of like very stubborn.
Uh-huh.
At times where we're at, we're humans anyways. Now it's full moon.
Right.
You
Right.
listening, you everyone,
Right. Exactly.
us here
Exactly.
talking. Now it's full moon. I'm in the past 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Um, I haven't kind of been showing up, actually, pu- publicly in my groups, like, and I had to, and I sort of had like, but I haven't. Things were bigger, things happening, like big conversations, big interactions, the lawyer, the ex-wife, the kid here in the house not going to school, the, um, oh, what's going on? And I was like, and my brain was, as soon as I saw my brain trying to grab things, like, to control, whoa, wait, wait a moment, because I was getting into the reactions, like, okay, that's it, I'm posing, and at that point, growth starting happening again. You're here to grow. You're here to grow. You're here to expand. You're here to learn. Soul learning through. a human experience. And so it's a humanity, it's a, well, it's a civilization of souls having a human civilization experience to learn how to be a soul civilization. I kind of go there, and probably starting today, I'm making it a point, because it's been made official. I've been speaking it into existence with you.
Right, right.
I thank you. I thank you for being the fertile ground for even this statement, you know,
Mhm.
being made public. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So much coming up. So much coming up in the short term future. I feel that we cannot even imagine. The point, though, is to allow it.
Mhm.
It is possible. What we want, there is that Rumi's line, famous line, what wants you also wants you,
Want to
what you're seeking is also seeking
seeking
you.
you. Hmm.
um um and this is paraphrased eventually, but you just need to actually stop, pause.
Hmm.
You need
Mhm.
to um hang on a moment, and pause, and take it easy and breathe, and at that point you're allowing what is seeking you to find you, because
Right.
otherwise you're
Yeah.
like, it's like, I have this beautiful image. It's like universe is trying to deliver to you this most marvelous and exactly what you need, try the type of package at your door, but it cannot leave it there. It's too valuable. Cannot leave it there. It's too valuable. You need to be in the house, but you're so freaking like trying to control life that you're never home,
I like
Right.
because
that.
you're going
Right.
I like that.
everywhere. Like you're
I
going
like that.
everywhere.
Never home.
That's
You're
so
never
beautiful.
home. You're
That's beautiful.
never home. And if you're never
Yes.
home, well, guess what? Package is
Can be
I
not.
like
delivered.
that.
Yeah, can't be delivered.
Yes. I like that. Never home.
Oh,
Yeah.
never home, and yeah, oh,
Never home.
that came up right.
That's
That
beautiful.
came up just right. Because
Like,
many of us are
Right.
never home.
Right. Hmm.
so
That is
yeah,
so true. That is absolutely right. You're never home.
Right.
Yeah. You're never home.
The question you gotta ask: where are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
good. Map it. Yeah, beautiful. Wow, it's a perfect question. I was thinking, there's an exercise you can do, like, to map your frequency. Mm, we have a vibrational signature to our
Hmm.
identity, to who we are, to who we think
Hmm.
we are, to the behaviors, to the actions, to the what we want, so on and so forth. We can map. This is an exercise that I used to do a lot in the past. I've been doing it a bit less, but um, it was about home frequency, or when we say this high frequency,
Hmm.
I also used to say it's not really high frequency, is a truer frequency, is a frequency that is more you. In fact, it's not even higher or lower, it's just more authentic frequency of you. And so, to map it, the idea is to becoming able to recognize it, and once you become able to recognize it over time, you are able to induce it, and when you become able to induce it, you're able to come back to it, and therefore be in that home frequency where package can be delivered, you know and I mean, it's magic. It just freaking happens, really. And so you meet that person, you have that synchronicity in a way or
Hmm.
another. And so, imagine Imagine, even close your eyes if you want, but imagine a moment where you really, really, really feel good,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and have this same seat, for example. You can imagine yourself in your best place in the house, in your corner, in where you really feel home, feeling home. You feel home. You feel safe. You feel loved. You feel taken care of. Where are you? Like, imagine yourself, go there if you can, if it is daytime still, so on and so forth. I'm usually here, door is open in front of me, and I have this cherry tree, and the wind, the autumn wind. And to me it was counterintuitive, but let me tell you, it might be counterintuitive, because I might even say it's like, oh, it's spring or wind or summer, beautiful sunny day. No, actually, to me, that home frequency was the wind blowing the leaves in a way that they were almost talking to me, and that so I could hear this sound of the leaves. I could, if I think of that moment, I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
mapped it. I mapped it. I it's a picture. If I close my eyes and bring myself to that moment, I I just inevitably go there. So find your moment, find your
Right.
trigger point of soul frequency level, of home frequency, and map it so strong that you can go back to it on demand. That if I tell you what's your soul frequency, you stop, you pause, and you tap into it, and you're there. And from there, you take an action.
Mm-hmm.
From there, you take action. From there, you take that. It's like, just, you don't do it unless you're there.
Wow. John?
I thought you took us on a journey, and we are nature ladies, and I when you talk about the trees and with all of that stuff, we totally resonate with that because we're out in nature, seeing the trees as the wind blow, and you see, and then you might be thinking about something in that same moment, and you just drawing some deep inspiration in that moment.
Even the clouds.
Oh, suddenly we are so
Even
big in
the
clouds.
clouds.
Really, really, it's really truly amazing, especially when you can now go into nature and look at different things and really realize that we really true part of that if you can just pay more attention to that
Hmm.
and look what we can draw in from that.
Yes.
Look at all
Yeah.
the seasons.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
As the tree that the environment that I'm in with the magnolia tree. I look at that tree that came through all the different seasons as well as Karen. From it stripped away in the winter, it was bare bone, and then the buds came out, and then that beautiful come into bloom, blossom bloom so fully, right? And we get to enjoy the level of beauty, and then it just stripped all away, went back into the earth. And now that tree, that magnolia tree, is big, it's beautiful, but it's all green leaves. And it tells us also that is why that don't force, nature don't force. It just
Absolutely.
absolutely allows
Absolutely.
the leaves just strip away and just allow, and everything just emerge on its own and come into its own space and just be.
True.
Just be.
And nature don't ask for permission. It
No,
don't
it don't
ask you for
ask for
no
permission.
permission. It just be, as you say.
It
It
just
just be.
be.
And why can't we do the same thing? We are part of nature.
Right. So
Just
it
be.
just be. And when you can go there and really be in tune to that and just observe how it really works, it can tell us that we can just be and don't
Yes.
put up no, as we, the conversation we spoke about, and that we the dialogue that we had early on, the resistance, because when we resist, we hinder in the progress.
Mhm.
But when we stay in tune and that level of alignment, when we go inner, listen to that whisper, gathering all that inspiration, allow the soul to connect in the level of alignment and move effortlessly, accept the situation, what is happening in a moment, learn the lesson that is teaching us, because it's a preparation stage, really, because as we growing the experience, we building that level of muscle, that level of resilience, so we becoming stronger for that next, whatever that next may be. It's letting go. And I think there is where it's hard sometimes, letting go, the art of letting go. Because when we let go, we move lighter, because then we can reach our high calling. And when we let go with love. Give a level of gratitude. Whatever it is we are letting go, it serves us well. It served us well for that time frame. And just move forward. Learn the lesson, move forward. It's part of the experience. The soul experience that is when you spoke about you were in Mexico and you had a great time and you meet with so many souls and you connect, but then you knew at the point in time your soul felt this is it, it's done, it's time to me to move to the next. And that's where you continue, and that's where we all continue doing. But think sometimes that the challenge is that sometimes we do, the moment is it might be so great and what we're experiencing for the year or months or whatever, and we just want to stay there.
Yeah, we get
We
locked
just
in.
want to stay there.
Just want to stay there in the experience.
Okay,
Yeah.
so good.
Good. We don't want to move.
No.
Mm,
And
mm.
that is what is the attachment.
Yes, that's
Oh yeah,
attachment. Yeah. We
yeah.
don't want to move. We don't want to move. As listening to you, John, talking about the trees, if, as you rightfully said, if we only can pay attention to nature, we can understand our lives,
Hmm.
you know, because the trees, they're not afraid to go through the different seasons.
No.
They're not afraid to shed their leaves. They're not afraid to shed the flower. They're not afraid to strip everything away to go through that experience.
No.
They're not afraid to do it. But
Right.
we as humans, we are afraid to go through these
Hmm.
experiences. But look at these trees. They know exactly what they have to do.
Right. And what I
you
have to
know
do.
they
Hmm.
know what they got to do. We are
Right.
more intelligent and we can understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They
I
know
just want
exactly what they got to do.
I was just gonna share this story
They do
when we
it.
talking
Yeah.
about trees, right? There is this Norwegian maple tree, and along with another tree standing besides it. And this Norwegian maple tree go through the season. And when I was out there one day, I looked at that tree, and it was fall, and the tree stripped away bare. But that other tree, I think it was a Christmas tree, something like that, and it stood there. And then it says to me that what is changing, right? And what's still said, you're standing what's still the same. Because this tree stays the same. It's like an evergreen tree, it's green all the time. But this Norwegian maple come through all the seasons, shed every single thing and change. And that particular tree still stay the same. So in life, sometimes you're in a space that some person you might be dealing with somebody or the job, it stays the same, but then you as individual constantly changing. You're going through the season and you're changing and you're becoming, but then something still stays the same. Experience at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're so right. You're absolutely right.
It is.
Yes. You know what? All right, tell me, you're gonna put you on the spot. We gotta do a part two. We got to do a part two.
Oh, I'm here.
We're speaking
I'm
to the
here,
soul.
and
We gotta do a
Yeah.
part two.
hmm when shall it be?
This
When shall it be?
I know,
Your
right? But we're
convenience.
gonna fix that out.
Hmm.
Hmm.
This
Yeah,
is
I'd love
such
it. I'd love it.
Oh my goodness, this
Beautiful.
was such an inspirational, motivational, transformational conversation. You know,
Mm,
Arton, you took us on a journey, and
Mm-hmm.
this is a journey of transformation. It's a journey of evolution. It's a journey of soul. You know, you have touched on so many things this evening, you know,
it's
and
very important to me. Yeah.
the points
Yeah.
that you touched on, I think the collective need to hear this because many people are struggling.
Mm,
They really don't know which direction to go. The soul know the direction.
mm,
The
it does.
soul know the direction, but they
It
are
does.
holding back themselves from this experience that the soul came here to experience, you know. But you bring some clarity this evening, and it's helping individuals to understand that if we have to step back, if we have to pause in order to move forward, we need to do it. It is necessary for us to pause in order to move forward. Pausing, it's not a crime. Pausing is allowing you to be, because many people feel as though if they pause, the world is going to come to an end, you know. But we need to understand that in order for us to have clarity on many things that we may be asking for, we need to pause to have that clarity and to understand what we may be going through at this point in time. For us to understand and to have clarity, we got to be in silence and listen
Mm.
to understand
Hmm.
exactly what we're going through. Silence and listen to
You
understand
know,
exactly what we're going through, you know. And Arton, you really help us to understand that this evening. Come on, Arton, speak to us.
there's one little piece that I feel it's important to add to that, to what you just said. That is the listening and the silence. And very often the problem is that in that silent moment, what we hear we do not like, because what
Mm-hmm.
Right.
we hear is
Wow. Yeah.
a
Mm-hmm.
very deep and vibrant sound of truth. And this truth, it may be telling us to do things that are not what we would like to do.
True.
Actually, quite the opposite. We would like to avoid the things that we hear
Yeah.
in that silence. Uh, I bet you not. You want to go here, and you like want to go here in
Mm-hmm.
this way.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way you want to go to, but this way is blocked, and there's this
Mm-hmm.
set of things to be done that you are trying to avoid. But as soon as you
Yes.
do it or do them, path is clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And not
Yes.
only that path, like a wealth of paths get cleared
Mm-hmm.
for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So um I mean, I want to bring it, I like to bring it. I'm glad. Thank you for the acknowledgement, thank you for the recognition, thank you for the question, thank you for the space. What I do want is to bring soul to matter, is to make what I call soul-led living and normality, and it's something that is really, really normal. Like, we're
Yes.
living a human life, but we must live it from soul, therefore
Mm-hmm.
soul-led, and therefore not from those patterns and old behaviors and old stuff, uh, but making sure that we break all of those. And in order to do that, um, things need to be brought to really concrete approaches, breaking free from outdated behavioral
Right.
patterns,
Right. Right. Right.
emotional
Right. Right.
um, way of taking action or running relationship or going through things and anchoring into new patterns, still new behaviors, still new identity, new actions. So still the human, still the brain neural pathways, but that are rewired and repatterned and recreated from a soul frequency, but really, really concrete. And for you, for me to land it and to pass the mic again, it would be to give you an example of real life again. I wanted to to set some things up with my business and with some of the debts that I'm slowly paying, financial debts that I'm slowly paying since like few years now. Um, and in order to do it for this year, I said, okay, this year those are done. And as I said that, Soul told me divorce needs to be official. I was like, eh. It's like lawyers, tribunal, like more money to be paid. And I said extra. I said no debt. I didn't say like more money to be paid. Like you see, it's like not making sense on a logical, on the ego, on the shrinking. No soul shrink their way into existence.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Into so if you want to be,
You
you
gotta
need to expand. You can
expand.
shrink your way into your goal. You don't
No, you
shrink
Gotta
your
can't.
way
expand.
into that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that said, I started the process of lawyers and stuff that asked me to do certain bureaucratic stuff in Italy. I will be always traveling here, there, and so on and so forth. So Italian bureaucracy always felt kind of like I've always avoided, resisted. No, thank you. As I started doing it, they started asking me certain documents. As I started doing those documents, I started unleashing so many mechanisms that I'm getting tax returns, that I'm getting like I mean I'm getting stuff that I was like, why the heck did I not do that before? It was like, why did I not do it before? Where was I sitting? What frequency was I holding? What was I thinking? Well, I was thinking from the level I was thinking. I was
Right.
shrinking my way,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
trying to trying to pass through these two obstacles, shrinking, so becoming smaller in order to pass through. But in reality, what I needed to go through was to own him, or own the two obstacles, therefore expand so much that these two obstacles would look small.
Yep.
Mm.
That's not so immediate. That's not immediate. That's not how we've been sort of like conditioned to lead
Mm-hmm.
life. And these shall be changed. Hit.
Right.
Um, um, I'm absolutely inspired to be here with you and inspired to be here with you once more if we need it.
Yes.
We
And
will.
We will.
We
bringing it to
will,
practical.
Arton. We will. We will. We just want to thank you so because it's pretty late where you are, and we want to thank you so much for bringing the message to the collective, and allowing your voice to be heard. And we know that someone sitting, listening, or on the replay will be able to take away something you said this evening and start to incorporate it into their lives and to understand their experiences, their challenges, and to allow the soul to lead the way because the soul knows the way. So we just want to thank you once again. And to the viewers, we want to thank you once again for taking the time and sitting with us this evening because we value your time. And you coming into this space, it really helps us to continue to bring the messages that we need to bring to the world and to help humanity to evolve into a soul civilization. Love that. A soul
You can use it.
civilization.
Take it and spread it. Take it and spread it, please.
Yes. Soul civilization. So we just want to thank you for joining us on this journey of soulful exploration. Remember, life's challenges are invitation to pause, to listen, and to move with purpose. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need it. Stay connected, stay aligned, and most importantly, let your soul lead the way. In moments of uncertainty or hardship, pause, allow clarity emerge. Pause and allow clarity to emerge. Because as Ayrton said this evening, many times we are not home. We are not at home. So when the package is delivered, we are not there to accept the package. So in order for us to get the package, we need to be at home. We need to come home in order to get the package. So we can all live a soulful civilization. Joan?
Wow. This was truly, this was a treat.
Yeah.
This was truly a treat because you brought us so many things, and you help us to leave this moment grounded, center, balance, going within,
Mhm.
leaning into our inner wisdom, listen to the whisper so that we can rise. When we take that pause and go within ourselves, get quiet, and listen to that inner voice, because what is reflected in our inner is shown in our outer. So when we can go there, and there's where you took us, so we can get quiet, move in the level of silence, and then we can now express and live our true essential self, embrace that level of a soul alignment, so we can embrace soul civilization.
Yes.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, Art, and we're so grateful that you've chose to come in this space first to enlighten us on your evolution, so that we can understand where you are and know that you are just rising and continue moving higher spaces, and you change in life, and you're creating such a big impact in the world so that you can evolve soul civilization. Thank you.
Gratitude. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Alton. Thank you, thank you,
The
thank
joy,
you, thank you.
true joy.
Yeah, it is. It's a true joy. And we're gonna toss around some dates for the next one.
Oh yes. Oh
We will.
yes. We shall. Mm,
We
can't wait.
will, we will,
Truly
we will.
excited.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And to the audience, thank you once again.
Yeah,
Facebook, LinkedIn,
Stay blessed.
YouTube, IG. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We appreciate your time and
sure.
continue to subscribe to Soul
Uh,
Light and Body that you will never miss none of these
do it.
episodes. Thank you
Do it.
guys so
Do it.
much.
Do it.
We love you all. Thank
Love
you.
you all.
Mm.